Good morning, everyone. So, yesterday we were reading the Murli dated 19th of December 1979, and the Murli title was The Way to Have Remembrance Easily is to Consider Yourself to be a Godly Helper. So, let us quickly recap the Murli. Baba mentioned that children should also have the special intoxication of being engaged in the service given to them by God. Baba also gave the example of the president giving tasks and how would one person feel. Likewise, he told that even if you are doing physical service, remain aware that the Father gave you that direction directly and that you are doing it according to the Father's direction. And that is how we will never forget the Father. Further, Baba gave the example of the path of devotion that people always tell that God moves each leaf, but Baba mentioned that the leaves move according to the drama. However, all of you who are the first leaves of the Kalpa tree, we are the golden age leaves of the confluence age, have been changed by the Father from being like iron to divine being. So Baba moves all us, the leaves, and Baba also tells that Baba has guaranteed that he will make all of us move along with him. And the way to move along with Baba is that together with our body, we have also given our mind. So, should we really mix in our mind any negative things, or we should have pure thoughts? And that is where Baba reminded us yesterday that we gave Baba the promise that whenever Baba would come or whenever we meet him, we would give him everything. We would do as he wishes. We would stay wherever he wants. We would eat what he gives us. So he told us it is not just only about the physical food, but it is also about the thoughts which we take in our mind. So, in all, how much do we really follow? So, like that, Baba gave us various examples yesterday. So, let us continue today. So, Baba mentions that with your household, instead of maintaining a pure household, you mix up impurity into it. Even now, you mix up the dictates of your own mind, that is Manmat, with Srimat. Because of being mixed up, you become heavy. Real gold is very light, but when anything is mixed into it, it becomes heavy. Similarly, Srimat, the most elevated directions, makes you light, but when you mix Manmat into it, you become heavy. You then find it difficult to continue to move along. Therefore, don't mix up anything of yours with Srimat. By remaining constantly light, you will be able to watch all the scenes and scenery of the subtle region whilst being down here. So I think Baba gave us one indication that if we want to watch the scenes of the subtle region, we should be constantly light, else we will miss on those. Baba says you will experience it all as clearly as though you are watching some scene of this world. For this, you simply have to keep your power of thought, your mind and intellect completely free from any of your own dictates. You have a strong habit of using your mind unnecessarily. When you try to keep it still, it continues to run itself, and you then have to make effort again. The way you can remain free from your mind racing unnecessarily is similar to what you do when someone cannot be controlled and causes a lot of trouble or goes a bit wild or crazy. Okay, so Baba is slowly revealing the method, the technique. How can we focus our mind? Okay, this is something which is very common that even today, some of us, while doing meditation, we are not able to constantly focus and remember our Baba or whatever thoughts we wish to. Our mind wanders here and there. So earlier, before reading this, Baba was mentioning that as a leaf, we should be light. If we become heavy, we won't be able to move along with Baba. And now he slowly tells that the way you remain free from your mind racing unnecessarily is similar to what you do when someone cannot be controlled. He then has to be given an injection to calm him down. In the same way, if you are unable to control the power of thoughts, take an injection of being bodiless. Come and sit next to the Father. Then your thought power will not run wildly unnecessarily. Do you not know how to sit next to Baba? The only task that Baba has given you is to sit next to him, nothing else. So let me pause here. So if you all have seen, in most of the Murlis, Baba makes us do the drill of bodilessness to stop all the thoughts and just be with Baba, either Nirakari stage or maybe the angelic stage. It could be any stage, but Baba asks us to do this drill very often. And that is where I think Baba is coming here as well. So he gave a very nice example that the person who is not mentally stable, we end up giving him a injection which, you know, immediately stabilizes him. So becoming bodiless, as Baba refers here, would act like an injection. And immediately if any thoughts that comes to us or disturbing us, it could be waste thoughts, it could be any negative thoughts, probably sitting next to Baba will help us get rid of them immediately. Rather, Baba just says that the only task that Baba has given you is to sit next to him, nothing else. You now understand that This is very easy, but because you take back the reins of your intellect after having given them to the Father, you then have to make unnecessary effort to control your mind. What does this mean? Baba is mentioning that although we know it is very easy, but we take back the reins of our intellect after giving it to the Father. And that is where we then end up making extra efforts to control our mind. Now become free from having to labor over anything wasteful. Seeing the children laboring, the father would feel mercy, would he not? The father says, each of you children should come and sit comfortably on the throne with the father. Remain seated on your throne and order both your physical organs and subtle organs, that is, your mind, intellect, and sanskars. When you are seated on your throne, you are able to give them orders. If you try to issue an order after you have got off your throne, your organs don't listen to you. Nowadays, there is upheaval in even a throne seat of position. However, here, Baba is offering you the seat of a throne, so why do you still get down from it? Okay, so Baba is again giving a reference, especially now that the days of elections are also coming, the Lok Sabha elections, as we all know. So much upheaval is being created, maybe in social media, maybe outside, who will win. So Baba is mentioning that my throne is always open, the throne which Baba has given us. So why do we get off it? The other subtle things which Baba tells is that if we remain seated on our throne, and then only we can give orders to our physical and subtle organs, probably they will hear us, otherwise they may not. So let us experiment this again today, that get seated on the throne and then give order to your mind in case if anything waste come, that I am seated with Father on the throne and this is my order to you. And let's see if our intellect really listens to it. I think we have experimented this before as well, but let us do as Baba mentions in this Murli. Because Baba says to get down means to become a servant. Whose servant? You become your servant's servant, the servant of your many organs. This is why you have to labor. Become God's servant, become God's server. Don't become your servant's servant. You can do godly service whilst remaining seated on your throne. You don't need to get down. The Father wants to make you sit next to Him. But what do? Instead of being confidence aged queens with the Lord, you become slaves. So become the true wives of the true Lord. Do not become slaves. No one's vision can fall on someone who remains constantly behind a wheel. So, when Maya is in front of you, stay behind your wheel and sit with your Lord, and all your slaves will then be ready to serve you. Do you understand what you have to do? From today, step away from laboring, remain a constantly easy yogi, seated on your throne next to the Father. Rather, sometimes I feel that even constantly becoming a yogi and being seated, it itself is a laboring task. But if Baba says that we labor, probably we are doing in the wrong fashion. So the technique which he really gave today, let's try using that, and probably it will be more easy. Baba says today, now Baba is meeting the Gujarat and Indore souls. Today, those from Gujarat and Indore have come here. So stay behind your wheels. That is, remain indoors. Those from Indore must remain constantly indoors. Indoor means inside the door. So you don't come out, do you? Each zone is growing very well. Those from Gujarat have made the hall full. Those of you from Gujarat now have to make yourselves full and come quickly and sit comfortably in the subtle region. According to the time, Father Brahma is now invoking all of you children. What will those from Gujarat do? Those from Gujarat should bring mics and have loud voices, not physical mics, but living mics. The set of mics you bring should be so powerful that they can make the sound of revelation be heard. Acha, what will those from Indore zone bring? Bring a powerful TV set from Indore zone through which the destruction of the world can be seen very clearly and a bright future is visible. So remember, this is the Murli of 1979, where Baba still used to have Murlis in the history hall, Panda Bhavan. So to the first group, Baba told to get Mike, the Gujarat, the Mike who can amplify the sound of revelation. And the second group, that is Indore, Baba is asking them to bring a powerful TV set where the world destruction, where the world can be clearly and bright future is visible. Do you understand what you have to do? Prepare such people through whose TV of experiences the world would be able to have a vision of destruction and establishment. So both of you zones prepare such a set before you come again. Acha. So Baba gives Yad Pyar to such godly helpers, to those who remain constantly free from laboring, to those whose thoughts and deeds are filled with significance, to those whose every thought and deed are according to the Father's Srimat, To those who makes their deeds equal to their words, to such children who are the father's companions, Bab Dada's love, remembrance, and namaste. So let us read this small part of the teachers, Bab Dada meeting teachers as well. In what subject should you teachers become special effort? What deep and subtle efforts are you serviceable children making? The subtle effort you have to make is to check your thoughts. Do you keep a balance of remembrance and service in your thoughts? Was your every thought powerful? You serviceable children should not have any waste thoughts because you are the world benefactors. You are acting on the world stage. The whole world is copying you. If even one thought of yours is wasteful, everyone would copy that. You don't just waste your own thought. You become an instrument to make many others waste theirs. Just as you receive the gift of a lift by doing service, and you also receive a share of the fruit of having served many, in the same way, if you do something wrong, you become an instrument to teach something wasteful to many others. Therefore, now finish your account of wastefulness. Nowadays, stability of the mind is checked with instruments of science. They have been carried out in London and other places. Have they not? These are the instruments of science. However, you need to keep the instruments for your checking at every step. Just as they keep their instruments with them and connect the person to them at the time of checking them, you serviceable children should keep your checking instruments with you at all the times. It is not a small thing to become a teacher. You are not just wearing that name, you also have to act according to the same. Serviceable children should never have any waste thoughts. If you say that you are having waste thoughts, what would others do? Others would also have sinful thoughts. Of course, each of you does pay attention, but you now need to pay much deeper attention. Service should also be done through your thoughts. When you keep the power of your thoughts busy in service, waste automatically ends. Nowadays, they try to keep the youth groups busy with one task or other so that their energy is not channelized into anything destructive. In order to stop rain, water being washed, they build dams and channels that water useful. In the same way, in order to stop your thought power being wasted, keep it busy in service. And then instead of any thought being wasted, it will become powerful. None of the power of your thoughts, words, deeds, or knowledge should go to waste. You have to be economical with all your thoughts, words, deeds, and all powers. Do you not? So, Baba meeting teachers, and to them, Baba specifically mentions the importance of not having waste thoughts. So, first, he gives the examples that even in Lokics, they have instruments to check the thought pattern or other things. Now, these days, so we have ECG, ECG, and everything. So many instruments, even we have at our Spark laboratory. But Baba mentions that you should have your subtle instruments always with you so that we can check our waste anytime when we want it. Then he gives the example of we being busy. If a youth, if we need to channelize the energy of youth from any waste to anything useful, it is we give him some tasks, we keep him busy so that his energy is not wasted. Baba gives another example, the third example of the water, the running water. If we want to save it from getting wasted, we build dams. So likewise, Baba tells that you channelize your thoughts into something, into godly service. The more busy we are in the service, we'll be free from any waste thoughts. We all must have experienced that. The day when we have nothing to do, we are just cozy, sitting aimlessly at home on our couch. We may think so much of our past, probably we may end up thinking so much that we drain our mind. But on the other hand, if we are busy doing something, it could be anything for that matter, maybe godly service or anything. But if we are busy, then those thoughts may not really disturb us. So Baba says, none of the power of your thoughts, words, deeds, or knowledge should go to waste. You have to be economical with all your thoughts, words, deeds, and all powers. Do you not? In the world, when a family is not economical, it is not able to function well. In the same way, Baba gives the fourth example of family being economical. No, if the family just keeps on wasting money here and there, probably they may not have any savings. So Baba says it is not able to function well in the same way when you children who are instruments and not economical, the center does not function well. Those are limited households where there is an unlimited one. You should check whether you were extrinsic to your thoughts, sorry, in your words, thoughts, or powers, and then change yourself accordingly. Hmm. So let us stop here, and I think from here, you should make subtle efforts to budget all your treasures economically. We can do this reading the next day. So there is something Baba mentions on the economy part, and also he will be meeting two other groups. Uh, so I think that can be read tomorrow because today we have done a lot of reading. Let us now churn and then we can start sharing. Okay. So, yes, Rakiben, I think you should start reading from page number 51 tomorrow. Write first line on the page number 51. That should be your starting point. So, let us now start churning. Maybe everybody can share what is there for you to take from today's Murli.
Oh, Churning. So, very nice, Murli. I like the point when Baba says that, don't become your servants. Don't become your servant. So Baba means that we are becoming our sense organ servant sometimes. So that's why we are unable to come and sit next to Baba, though we wish to do it, but we are unable to do that because we are our servant. So, and this is why you'll have to labor. So Baba says you can be God's servant, but not your servant. So this is the takeaway for me to check. Am I becoming a servant of my sense organs today? So, yeah, thank you.
Yes. So, Baba especially mentioned that when he asks us to be seated on the throne with Father. So, this is a very nice application. We can use it, especially now in the days of summer. Sometimes we might feel so hot, and probably that will drain our energy or also drain out our mood. So, maybe a good idea to just sit with Baba in Vatan and just experience that coolness. And we order our sense organs that, hey, I am your master and I'm enjoying this day. So probably we may not fall into the trap of, experiencing that heat, which otherwise our servants are asking us to experience and further get drained out. So yeah, this is just one example which came to my mind, but there could be many such examples, or we can identify such cases where we feel that we get trapped into our by becoming servant, and how can we sitting on the throne and ordering them can make a difference. Anything else? It is also said, like even in logics. Now, for example, since this election thing is also going on, so only once a person is seated on that throne, maybe it could be the PM seat or any seat for that matter, in any ministry, probably he would be able to pass on the orders. But once the chair is no more for that person, the person will not be able to pass any orders. And that is the reason Baba wants us to be on that throne, because the moment we get down, people won't listen to us. People in here would be our sense organs. So, yeah, that is, I think that requires a good amount of practice, because it's not that we don't want to get off the throne, it is just that we sometimes even don't remember that we are sitting there, or we need to be seated constantly. That awareness gets absent. So, the more we are able to check ourselves, maybe once a hour or multiple times a day, the more we will enjoy the seat. And the lesser we check or have lesser attention, we may just forget that we have that throne.
Om Shanti, brother.
Yes.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
As you just to casually mention, you were saying about election. And, I see on the media where they speak about guarantee and all. And for the past 2, 3 Murlis, even Baba is giving us so many guarantees. So I always call it as, oh my God. So this is, even in the Sakar Murlis, like you see, even in yesterday's blessing, Baba said, may you be a fortunate soul if you have that self-sovereignty and your physical organs. So even over there, that a kind of a guarantee. When you said election, and I've seen most 2 or 3 Murlis, Baba speaks about guarantee. But what really I would like to take from the Murli is that one aspect, mind control. So well there, if you have seen over here, Baba has said, keep your power of thought, your mind, your intellect. Of course, Baba's talking about the subtle organs, completely free. Now, whenever I hear about mind control, I have gone through n number of techniques like coercive persuasion, thought control, thought reforming, or some peer through psychological techniques they can control your mind. Or some people live in spirituality, says mindfulness meditation, breathing exercises. There are many kind of things to control the flow of thoughts. Then uh, when I if you do not control your mind, then your mind is going to control you. So that's what Baba says: beware, because otherwise all these thoughts will become these negative thoughts will become a reality, and your mind will run. It will become wild. It will become crazy. Just see in this body, the soul. What would happen if the mind becomes crazy? It runs. It's like as if something has happened. Then an injection has to be given to the mind. That injection also, that is, I'm talking about the technique. Baba is saying nothing, simple technique. Don't, no psychological technique, nothing, just bodiless. Bodiless. I am a soul. I am sitting here. He's a soul. I go down. And for that, I have to have only one place, not sit next to a psychiatrist, but sit next to the Father. Then your thought power will not run widely. So we have to know, as you rightly said, how to sit next to Baba. We sit next to so many other remedies when we are not able to do the external things. But Baba has given us only one task. Sit, take the reins of your intellect, the reins of your mind, then how it can run widely, because you have Baba sitting next to you. So I think this mind control, concentration, realization, understanding, a conscious shift, whatever techniques you call, is what really I would like to explore.
Yeah. So I think someone mentioned also in the chat that at confidence age we are wives of the Lord as queens and not slaves. So again, this is a very beautiful thing which Baba has correlated from Lokics, that not these days but in the olden days, I think there was this wheel system, parda system, where whenever any outsider came, immediately the females of the house would not come in front of them unless they were very much related companions or friends. So they used to stay in the wheel, and that is how I've heard. I've not seen these things, not very sure on how these things work, but I just seen this on TVs and some old episodes. So Baba actually very nicely tells that, I'll quote, so become the true wives of the true Lord, do not become slaves. No one's vision can fall on someone who remains constantly behind a wheel. So when Maya is in front of you, stay behind your wheel and sit with your Lord, and all your slaves will then be ready to serve you. So, another beautiful experiment which we can do, that with Baba, when we are with our Lord, when a woman is with her husband, she is of the feeling that there will be no evil who would be seeing her or trouble her. So likewise, when we are with Baba, of Lord, when we are his wife, sitting with him, no Maya or no negativity can even touch us. But it is very important that we stay in that wheel or stay with Father, so that we don't, get into that trap. So beautiful thing Baba mentioned, and also you have captured on the chat. This is also one beautiful point. Someone mentioned indoor always remain indoors. Don't come out. So nice way Baba has also juggled with these words.
But prefer by, see this veil thing which you just spoke of, and yeah, it's a very nice thing, because even in law we call them as a pardanashin woman, and there are legal rules also how she should be dealt with. But what I feel over here is, it's where, see, these people who are behind the veil, they are not seen by the external world, because a veil is over them. They are shrouded inside, but they can see the external world. They can see everything, but they are not seen. And secondly, I feel it's just Baba's way of saying to go introvert, to go inside. Why you have to see the external world, even though you can see? So that alertness, awareness is also there. It's not that I'm in a veil means मैं कुछ नहीं जानता. No, मैं सब कुछ, I can see everything, the whole world. But I have to be introverted. Sometimes when I take this veil philosophy of Baba, like,
Yeah, exactly. So the point here is that people don't see you. So basically, here it is not the physical things which Baba is mentioning, it is more about the Maya. Baba has also mentioned that. So once we are behind the veil, Maya will not reach us. Although we can see everything, but Maya will. So basically, it just happens that we see that something wrong is going on, but we get busy into that sightseeing. But somebody would catch us. So it is just a play upon words. You can take it introvert also, that is also good meaning. It is also people not troubling people, here would be Maya. So yeah, Baba uses different methodologies, whatever convinces his children. He just wants us to understand the point, and that is why he gave us so many examples. Even towards the end, he gave us this example of this economy, family being in economy. Then this youth example he gave, channelizing the energy of the youth. Then he gave the example of this water, the flowing water, how people build around dams. So yeah, I think sometimes these examples, if we remember, it makes our pushat very easy. Otherwise, this the gyan or the core philosophy, the literature is so boring in a way. I will not say Baba's words, but generally, these things are so this thing that we don't really, someone really doesn't enjoy. But Baba makes that so enjoyable because he has bunch of so many examples. In every Avyakt Murli, he will end up giving us at least 4 to 5 minimum, and maximum, I don't know, it could be above 10 as well. References or analogies or examples, so that we children understand. So even in this Murli, right from yesterday, we also read that leaf example he gave, and so many others. So I think the one way to really enjoy or churn or be with Baba is just list down all such references which Baba gave. Even in the Sakar Murli he gives, and just try to play around with those words, do some more churning, because this will give us new food of thought. And while churning a lot, probably we will not end up losing our energy, which Baba mentioned, channelizing the energy. So this is a very good way, good technique which Baba uses. Now he gives this mic example, again a powerful TV set example. So many examples he gave. So all these physical things which Baba gives, this election throne example he gave, uh, these if we try to correlate with the day-to-day life, the way we see things, perceive uh, physical things will be not the way it is actually, but in a different way. So just like Baba gives examples, huh? Like if we wear a red goggle, we'll see everything red. If we wear a orange or yellow goggle, we'll see everything the similar way. So while we are in the world, we are not really those kind of people who are staying in jungles. We are staying with a family. But when we see the same things which others sees with the lenses which Baba has given us, we'll see those things in a different way. So coming back to that whale example, while we see everything from that whale, but we don't see exactly the same. We see from the whale, if we see things, we see it little shaded, and that shading of the whale also gets colored. So this whale is of Baba, and how Baba has told us to see things. If we see things that we will not get trapped, because from the whale, when we see things, we know that those things we are seeing from a filter, and hence from that filter we are always safe. So like that, we can just do a churning and any example, and we'll get so many treasures, and we can keep our mind engaged throughout the day. So anyway, it's 5:48. Any last comment, or else we can do meditation and we can close.
The injection is also a very nice point. Actually, so Baba gave the example that if a person is not able to be controlled, right, because if he is being wild or crazy, creating a lot of trouble, right? So what normally people do is, you'll be given an injection to calm and calm, right? So similarly, Baba says, if your mind, if you are unable to control, then take an injection of becoming bodiless.
Yes, very nice example. Even for that matter, I'll give you my example. So apparently, a few months back, I did my entire body checkup, and it came out that B3 or vitamin D was very less. So doctor recommended me injections. So I told that, can I go along a different route by taking capsules or something? So the doctor told that that will also help, but that is a slow thing. Since my level was so much down, he recommended that at least you go for 5 injections on alternative days, and then you take the oral dose for a month or so, because mine was very less. So then I realized that okay, injection directly it goes into the blood, and it makes the difference which otherwise it may not. So yeah, I took those dose of injections, and now everything is normal. So yeah, injection really helps. Takes a very good this thing. So I think even
Makes the difference faster.
yeah. So sometimes even I feel that listening Murli daily, like we do, or at the center if we do, or on the Zoom call, these are acting like an injection. Otherwise, it would be so difficult for us to stay constantly in touch with Baba. So these doses of injections daily, which we are taking from 5 to 5:45, for me, for me, it really helps. Maybe it might help to you all as well, but yeah, that's interesting. Anyway, so let's pause for a moment and take any one analogy since I was speaking on this, and just I'll pause for a minute, no commentary. Just reflect on that, and how would we practice that throughout the day? We can tell that to Baba, and then we'll close off.